One of the most influential science fiction movies of the 20th century, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, burst on the scene in 1982, instantly setting the tone for many sci-fi films that followed. Based on acclaimed sci-fi author Philip K. Dick's 1968 novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?, Scott created a complex dystopian world that was both beautiful and frightening. Set in a congested Los Angeles of 2019, Scott deals with many issues such as genetic engineering, mass globalization, pollution, and global warming. Humans have wiped out nature and animals are genetically engineered. Harrison Ford plays Rick Deckard, a Blade Runner who is kind of a special bounty hunter, and he is assigned to track down 4 replicants which are genetically designed humans for off-world labor.
I need you, Deck. This is a bad one, the worst yet.
Replicants were designed to have 4-year lifespans, and these 4 have returned to Earth to find a way to extend their lives. The plot and the characters are very layered and complex. Scott does a great job dealing with such issues as consciousness, morality, and the very nature of humanity. One theme that constantly runs through Blade Runner is perception. Since so many things are engineered in this futuristic world, it's hard to tell what is real and what is not. Scott places an emphasis on eyes and vision throughout the movie. The old saying, seeing is believing, doesn't always apply here. Scott uses the opening scene to make the viewer aware of this point from the start. An overhead view of the sprawling, dark Los Angeles cityscape leads into a close-up of an eye gazing out over the horizon, towering buildings and great bursts of fire reflected on the lens. The shot resembles a kaleidoscope of sorts and reveals to the viewer that a great amount of detail will be forthcoming throughout the film. This scene also gives the viewer a familiar world to the present day, but just skewed and twisted enough to make it a futuristic but plausible world. The following scene expands on the idea of perception. Since replicants are difficult to tell apart from humans, besides being faster, stronger, and smarter, Blade Runners use a device called the Voight Comp to perform a test using, you guessed it, the eyes. The instrument scans the eye, measuring pupil dilation and capillary response based on their answers to a series of questions. The Blade Runner questions Leon, a replicant played by Breon James, making him visibly uncomfortable. The viewer discovers Leon is a replicant as he blasts the Blade Runner, killing him instantly.
Let me tell you about my mother.
In another scene, Deckard travels to the Tyrell Corporation to question the CEO, Mr. Tyrell, who manufactures the replicants. Tyrell persuades Deckard to use the Voight Comp test on his assistant Rachel, played wonderfully by Sean Young. Rachel is an improved replicant model, and Tyrell is curious to see if she can fool Deckard into thinking she is a human. It takes a while, but Deckard discovers what she is. Tyrell informs him that he has given her memories, making it harder to diagnose her as a replicant. During his test on Rachel, Scott uses close-ups of the device to capture the light and reflections of her eyes, giving the viewer an idea of how difficult it is to tell human from replicant. All is not what it seems.
She's a replicant, isn't she?
I'm impressed. How many questions does it usually take to spot one?
Memories. You're talking about memories.
In a touch of irony, Tyrell, the creator of the replicants, wears thick, Coke bottle glasses, inferring he would be blind without them, and demonstrating his short-sightedness of his replicant design. An interesting touch by Scott. In a later scene, Roy confronts Tyrell, his maker, and gouges his eyes out, exasperated that Tyrell cannot extend his mortality. Hannibal Chu, played by James Hong, a genetic engineer who designs eyes for replicants, is visited by Roy and Leon on their quest to find Tyrell. Chu claims his work isn't important, but Roy Batty responds with this statement.
Chu, if only you could see what I've seen with your eyes.
Roy demonstrates that eyes also have the power of insight, and he is trying to convey the terrible loneliness and pain of being confined to off-world colonies. Blade Runner displays misdirection and illusions throughout the film, making you and the characters question what is real. Artificial animals and humans, fake dreams, memory implants, false photographs, and a young scientist who ages rapidly, William Sanderson's J.F. Sebastian. And then there is the main character, Rick Deckard, played brilliantly by Harrison Ford in one of his most iconic roles. During the film, Deckard begins to question his own humanity, especially after he meets Rachel. Are all the childhood photographs in his apartment real, or are they fabricated memories? Even photographs that seem real may only be an illusion here. Ridley Scott used Philip K. Dick's book to make an influential work that makes us question our reality, showing how fragile the nature of our humanity is. If you dig behind Scott's multi-layer images of the film, many questions linger long after viewing it. You have to remember that nothing is absolute in Blade Runner, not identity or sight. The entire question of the film is identity, and in a vast city, a person faces isolation, whether their world is real or imagined.
Like tears in rain.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and share with your friends. Also, if you subscribed, click the little bell icon for notifications. And I would love to hear your comments below. Until next time, adios amigos.